What if you could fit a literal Formula 1 engine into the back of a Porsche 930 Turbo? Well, you would get one of these. A car for which Lansante is taking 11 of these TAG Turbo Formula 1 engines built by Porsche for McLaren and putting them in the back of a Porsche. But as you might be able to realise, the engine here in front of me is a V6 engine, whereas the engine that would have originally been in this would have been a flat 6. And while the original 930 Turbo would have had around 300 horsepower, this engine here, in qualifying trim for Formula 1 cars, would have had about 1,000. But for the sake of reliability, Lansante has reduced that to about 500 horsepower with about 9,000 RPM rev limit and about 3 bar of max boost pressure. Whereas when these engines were in the Formula 1 cars, they had about 900 horsepower to 1,000 horsepower with a 13,000 RPM rev limit and about 4 bar of boost pressure. This very engine is Niki Lauda's British Grand Prix winning engine, whereas the engine in this car was used in Alain Prost's 1987 Formula 1 car. But unlike so many other Porsche resto mods, this car looks so similar to what a 930 Turbo would have looked like when it left the factory, which I love because it hides all of the genius engineering, and there's a lot of it. For one, this being a V6, it sits in a very different configuration to the flat 6. Also, the flat 6 would have been air-cooled, so you didn't have to worry as much about radiators. In addition, the alternator now sits here between the V and is driven off the cam gear because the Formula 1 cars actually would have had the alternator driven off the gearbox. It is a true work of art, and I love, despite the colour, just how subtle it is, and that subtlety is continued on the inside as well, with no mad carbon anywhere to be seen, because it feels like it would have left the factory just like this. And it somehow even retains those back seats. I love cars like this, that hide their story underneath and push the limits of engineering without really caring if those that look at it know. Oh, and please don't follow me if you don't like old school and classic cars like this.